If your release looks anything like this, where you see that lead arm buckle, the lead wrist starts to scoop, then you are going to want to watch today's video, because in today's video, I'm going to run you through what this is, the root causes as to why this happens, the concepts on how to fix this, and then some super easy and practical drills and feelings that you can implement straight away in order to fix this. So without further ado, let's jump straight into it. So what is this movement called? Well, whenever we see the breakdown of the lead side, so the lead wrist start to cup, the lead arms start to buckle, this is what we call a chicken wing. Now from here, it's going to be very difficult to generate any compression, any width on the way through, be able to generate any sort of speed and consistency. So it's a move that we've got to avoid at all costs. Now here's the thing, quite often this move has to happen in order to fix an earlier issue. Now we call these earlier issues root causes. So let me quickly just run you through a couple of these. Again, I don't want to focus too much on them. Root cause number one is the fact that you will see a lot of golfers have an excessively open club face on the way down. Now from here, quite often you'll then see them throw their angles out and get into this very buckled and scoopy look. Why? Because it's a way of squaring the club face. Easy ways to try and fix this is number one, check your grip. Make sure you have a good grip. I see so many golfers get their hands in a weak position, so rotate them around, for me as a right-handed golfer, to the right in order to strengthen them. Number two, make sure you're setting your wrist correctly. If you don't know how to set your wrist correctly, I have honestly, I think it's 10, 12 videos already on wrist set. Please go check them out. It'll make squaring that club face up so much easier. So that's the first root cause. Second root cause is that you're hanging back in the downswing. Again, if this is an issue, then make sure you fix that first, because what then happens is you have to buckle this in order to control your low point. If you were to extend your arms down, you'd hit the ball fat every single time. The next one is a golfer that swings over the top. Super common issue. You'll see a lot of golfers, they swing over the top, so then you try and chicken wing in order to get that club face pointing square. Again, not a consistent motion. And then the final one is when your body doesn't turn, you get sort of to this position, then your arms have to buckle because there's no rotation. Now, for all of those body movements, obviously the first one was a club face issue. Check your grip, check your wrist set, and how you're loading your trail wrist. But for the other ones, a lot of them are body movements. So let me just give you a very simple drill that's going to help you with this. So let's drop the club down on the ground. What I want you to do is set up in your golf posture like so. Have your left hand out in front of you and your back of your left wrist, so where the logo would be on your glove, is pointing down towards the target. Now, what I want you to imagine is take your right hand behind your back, and I want you to imagine that you're trying to do sort of a backhand slap to a pad that's roughly around here. Now, if I was to do that, you would see that my body would have a weight shift and a compression movement, and then I would rotate through. I wouldn't do a backhand slap like that. No power in it. I wouldn't do a backhand slap like this. Again, it's not going to have any power to it. I would do a shift and then bang into that position. To make it a little bit more realistic, take your right hand and make it so your two back of your hands meet, and you can see my right hand came under. Go to the top and then there, slap the pad. And you can see right here as I'm doing that, I'm developing a good downswing motion with good side bend. Again, that's a very simple drill that can help you fix a couple of those other issues. So now we've fixed your root cause issues. Now we've actually got to teach you the concepts on how to fix this release. So very simply, the key focus that we're going to be having is on the lead arm. This is our crucial key piece of information. Now, a lot of you are aware and educated on the fact that there are different types of releases. You have more of a body release where the club stays a little bit more square on the way through. You have more of a roll release where the body rotates a little bit less, and there's more forearm rotation. Now, here's the thing. Here's one of the biggest misconceptions I see. Everybody thinks that a body release, which for some reason the golf industry is obsessed with putting players into, which not every golfer needs that, but it's obsessed with feeling like there is zero external rotation of the left arm. Here's the thing. If you want to have a good release, it doesn't matter what release type you are, your left arm must externally rotate. What is the easiest way of demonstrating this? If I was to hold my left arm up in front of you, that logo of my glove would be pointing to the sky. In order for it to externally rotate, it must roll over to where it points more down to the ground. That is my arm externally rotating, doing this motion. If I was to keep this logo pointing up to the sky, at some point my arm's going to want to buckle inwards, and that is what we class as a chicken wing. So it doesn't matter what release pattern you are, there is a certain amount of external rotation of that lead arm that must happen. Now, granted, roll release players do have more external rotation than body release players, but that doesn't mean body release players don't have any external rotation. And now what I want to do is actually take you through sort of a series of exercises that are going to help you with this, because the real key concept of fixing all of this is understanding that we've got to externally rotate our left arm in order to keep that arm straighter. If we start to keep it internal, it's going to want to buckle. Now, the very first thing that I like to do is isolate each arm. This is a great way of just learning this motion. So as you can see, I've got it in my left arm here, and I'm just going to start to do some swings where I'm going to over exaggerate how much I close down the face. And just so you can see the actual club face, how much I'm exaggerating it, you can see I'm really exaggerating how much I'm rolling it over. Now, by no means do I want you to achieve this position in your real swing, but we have to exaggerate this position, especially if you're that golfer who's so used to doing that motion. So I just want you to start to develop the feelings of just what it feels like to externally rotate that left arm, and you will really start to feel it close down in that position. Now, here's the cool thing is this is not an easy exercise, but you can actually hit shots with this drill. So you can see here, I was able to do it in a nice sort of easy fashion, went nice and straight, good rotation of the left arm. Now, once you've done that a couple of times, then from there, I want you to switch your hands over. I want you to go to your trail hand. And again, we're trying to see the same thing. The club face is rotating over excessively as my right hand is internally rotating. And I often tell people, imagine you're doing a handshake here where your hand is sort of on top of the other person's. If I do it in this position, imagine I'm shaking your hand and my hand's going to be on top of yours in that spot. And you can see if I was just to do these little motions here, how I'm over exaggerating how much that club face is rolling down. I might even want to go there. Again, the purpose of these is not to perfect the movement. The purpose of these is to over exaggerate them so you can learn a little bit quicker. So again, now I'm going to start to just feel what it feels like to rotate that over, making sure I get good ground contact as I'm doing this and I'm learning this feeling. Then again, if you want to test yourself, like these aren't easy, bring the ball in and then from there do a little swing where you feel like you get that good rotation, that good passing over of the hand right there. Now if you put them together, now you can see how we're actually starting to form the foundation of releasing that club face over. Again, I do it towards you, watch this here. I'm starting to feel that over exaggeration. Club face is way down to the ground, but in this position you can see left arm's very straight, right arm's in a really nice position across the body, and the palm is pointing down to the ground. So once you've done that a couple of times, then grab another ball, place two hands on, and all I want you to do is little hip high to hip high swings. Again, these are going to go 50, 60, 70 yards. This is an 8-iron right here, and all I'm wanting to do is finish in this position here to where everything feels very wide and I can feel my right hand has passed over my left. Again, I know the keyboard warriors are going to say, but what if I'm a body release? This is a practice drill. This is an exercise for over exaggeration. I will show you how to bring everything together in a second. So let me just show you this little drill here. So just feel like it's a hip high, pausing in this position, flew about 50 yards, and you can see I can hold my follow through, great width, great extension, great position. So now it's time to take you through my favorite drill when it comes to fixing the chicken wing and getting you into a great release position. This is also the drill that always gets the best feedback whenever I give it out in lessons. So this is called the release preset drill, Now, what I want you to do in this drill is first of all, tee the ball up just slightly. The reason for it is because this is more about learning what a good release feels like. Strike is obviously crucial, but give yourself some margin for error. I don't want you to be hitting it off the ground just yet. I will show you when to do that in a second. So you're going to set up to the golf ball like so. Now from here, you are going to then get yourself in a good sort of set release position. Here's where you can personalize it down to you. So as you preset yourself in this position, if you are a roll release golfer, I want that club to be completely toe up to the sky, like so. I don't want it leaning this way or this way. I want it toe up to the sky. If you're more of a body release golfer, I want your club face to be matching your spine angle more right there. That's the key difference between the two. If you're a roll release golfer, so more forearms, you're going to be a toe up player. If you're more of a body release player, you're going to be more matching your spine angle. Now, if you are in doubt and you are struggling with a chicken wing, go with the first option, the toe up option. Go with this option right there. If in doubt, go toe up. It's just going to make life a little bit easier in terms of learning this release pattern. So set up to the golf ball. Then from there, get into this good preset position right here. Now you're going to swing back from this position to about 3/4 back, and then you're going to swing through and try and get back into that same position. If I shuffle inside the golf ball, here's what it'll look like. I go from here. Good, there's a good spot. Swing back, and swing through into this spot. You can see I went a little bit further through, but you can see I replicated that position beautifully. So when it comes to actually hitting the golf shot, obviously set up to the golf ball, preset, and just make sure you avoid it on the way back. Again, this isn't necessarily about making perfect contact. It's about learning that external rotation movement. So let me show you what it looks like. I'm going to set up to the golf ball here, get into a really good position, preset my release right there, and then from there I'm going to swing back and swing through. And as you can see, pretty straight shot. Not much movement on it. It's got about 125 yards. So once you've done that a couple times, then from there, start to increase the club head speed. This is going to be more like just a normal sort of full swing. Again, starting this preset position right there, swing back and swing through. And as you can see, that's more of a normal sort of strike, normal sort of swing. And from there, this is going to help me develop that good sensation. Also fantastic for rhythm, really helps you get into a great rhythm and sequencing. But that's going to help you teach yourself how to release the club properly and fix that chicken wing. So there is my step-by-step guide on how to fix your chicken wing. Now, if you need more one-to-one help, I offer online coaching on the Skillist platform. The link is down in the description. If you have enjoyed today's video, please give it a like and subscribe, and I hope to see you back here soon.